Okay, good day everyone. Our topic for today is about agriculture, PES number 41. Okay, so to discuss, let us define muna yung biological asset kasi considered po siya as part of agriculture. Itong biological assets po, these are living animal or living plants. Nabubuhay na hayop or nabubuhay na tanim. Okay? But biological assets can either be a consumable biological asset or a bearer biological asset. Ano po ba yung sinasabing consumable biological assets? These are those that are to be harvested as agricultural produce or sold as biological asset. Katulad po ng livestock. Okay, held for sale, yung mga isda galing sa farm, these are consumable biological asset. Ano naman po yung sinasabing bearer bearer biological asset? Ito po yung mga livestock na nagpo-produce ng gatas or mga trees na nagpo-produce ng fruits. These are bearer biological assets. Okay? Yung concern lang po natin dito kasi pag consumable living animal po siya at bearer living animal siya, well, that will be under PES number 41 because it is considered agriculture. While if it is a bearer plant, PES 16 kasi property, plant and equipment na po siya, while consumable biological assets, PAS 41 pa rin po yun. But take note, not all living animal or plants can be considered as part of biological assets because for it to be part of biological asset, it should be related to agricultural activity. Ano po ba yung agricultural activity? It is the management by an entity of the biological transformation and harvest of biological assets for sale or for conversion into agricultural produce or into additional biological assets. So, take note of that ha. Related po dapat siya to agricultural activity. Pag hindi po yun part of the biological asset. But take note then also that yung mga produce ng bearing plants are part of the biological asset. Kasi sinabi ko kanina that bearing plants are part already of property, plant, and equipment. But take note, it ceases to be part of biological asset if those produced by the bearing plants is detached from the bearing plant already. So, hindi na po siya part ng biological asset once that production from the bearing plant is already detached. Take note. Thus, in conclusion, ito po yon, a consumable plant or both consumable and bearing plant animals are biological asset, therefore PAS 41 will apply. Bearer plants, diba? These are property, plant, and equipment, kaya PES 16 applies. Agricultural produce at point of harvest, PAS 41 yon. Kasi from the moment you detach it, ba na yon. If those agricultural produce transform into a product after harvest, ayun, na-detach mo na siya, undergo to a process, well, PAS 2 applies kasi inventory na siya. Now, let's go to the recognition principles. Ito lang po yung tatlong dapat nyong isipin for a biological asset to be considered as an asset of the entity. Well, una, you have the control over to that biological asset. Kasi control is a must in an asset. Well, pangalawa, probable future economic benefit that will flow to the entity. You will earn a benefit from that biological asset. And lastly, there is a reliable measurement or that biological asset can be measured reliably. Yung measurement naman nito, easy lang. Parang madali lang hindi kalimutan, no? Meaning, nasa mind natin kasi whether it's both initial and subsequent measurement, yung measurement natin pareho lang, fair value less cost to sell. Meaning at the initial measurement, you need to determine the fair value, then deduct the cost to sell. At the subsequent measurement, ganun rin, fair value less cost to sell. So considering that the subsequent measurement is fair value less cost to sell, then, well, we need to take note that at the end of each period, measurement shall be tested. Meaning we always check the fair value less cost to sell at the end of accounting period. If there is no reliable measurement at the end of the period, therefore, our subsequent measurement will be based on the cost less accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment. Take note ha, mapupunta ka lang sa cost less accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment if the fair value less cost of disposal at the end of the period cannot be measured reliably. So ano po ba itong cost of disposal? Incremental costs related to disposal of the biological assets. These are incremental costs. Mga cost para i-dispose mo yung biological assets. Diba? Once you dispose it, these are the incremental costs na mai-incur natin. But this excludes yung mga taxes, interest, finance cost, transportation, and advertising expenses because these were not considered as cost of disposal. You know, sabi ko nga, di ba, at the initial measurement, fair value less cost of disposal. At the end of accounting period where the subsequent measurement will occur, fair value less cost of disposal. There is a possibility na merong pag-angat, may pagbaba yung fair value less cost of disposal. So any changes therein, di ba, shall be recognized as part of profit or loss statement. Kaya may gain or loss po tayo. Then the change in fair value less cost of disposal should be on these two, di ba, changes, the physical change and the price change. Take note ha, physical change and the price change po yung basis natin. Pag sinabi pong physical change, this refers to the physical changes, no, of the biological asset. So yung fair value po natin less cost of disposal is naka-base po sa pagbabago ng kanyang anyo. Okay? While on the price change is yung pagbabago ng kanyang presyo. Okay? Kaya yung fair value less cost of disposal nakadepende rin sa pagbabago ng presyo because nagbabago yung anyo. So these two components of the change shall be considered. Okay? So yon, no? I just add additional topic, yung biological asset acquired through government grant. We were able to discuss government grant already in a face-to-face na mode. So, yung gusto ko lang ipaintindi ha, if these biological assets were granted through government grant, how are we going to recognize the income in relation to the government grant? If the government grant, di ba, is unconditional when that biological assets were given by the government, well, you need to recognize the profit or loss when the receivable arises. Okay? Otherwise, kung conditional naman ito, yung income or loss shall be recognized when we were able to meet the conditions attached to the government grant. Now, where are we going to report? Well, biological asset is an asset and it is part of the statement of financial position. Now, it will form part of the non-current asset section of the balance sheet or the statement of financial position. So, ito po yung mga common principles that we need to always recall pertaining to biological assets. That ends my discussion on biological assets. Thank you and good day to everyone.